Okay, awesome sauce, guys. We are back. It is day 4 of our intentional travel planning challenge. How are you all doing? How are you liking this so far? Please put some comments down there in the uh, below the video here. I would love to hear about what this is doing for you so far. Today, we are going to get more specific. We're going to dig deep into what to put on your bucket list. Now, we kind of hit some of that. You hit some of that with the worksheet last night, but I wanted to talk for yesterday's homework, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about the hows and whys of why we put things on a bucket list. So, first of all, most people think of a bucket list and they think of just those huge trips, that seem like they are almost unachievable. Um, but the things on your bucket list don't all have to be huge, expensive, hard to achieve goals. You're actually looking for kind of a mix of things. Think of it more like curating an idea list for your favorite places and things. Now, before I dive into exactly what we want to put on there, what people put on their bucket list, I want to talk a little bit about bucket list versus the travel goals that we set in the previous lesson. So, travel goals are more generic. We're not thinking necessarily about specific places per se. That was more about thinking about what kind of travel lifestyle we would like, how many days we would like to travel. Goals like getting to all the national parks, all the state parks in your state, visiting all of the continents. Those are common travel goals. Um, the bucket list is a little more specific. That talks about like exactly what national parks you want to visit, what countries you want to visit first, what you want to do in those places, what you want to eat, what you want to see, the different experiences that you want to have. So they are they overlap a little bit, but we're going to keep the bucket list to getting specific on those travel goals. It's like getting more specific and narrowing those goals down. So, when we talk about destinations for our bucket list, because that's something that a lot of people put on there, you want to think about a good mixture of close destinations, medium distance destinations, and far away destinations. Because when we start planning out where we're going to plug this in, where we're going to make these trips happen, you're going to have some chunks of time for travel that are close. They're short for a close destination, and you're going to have some longer chunks of time for travel. And then you're going to have, your bigger vacations, which can be farther away places. So you want to think about places in your own state, places in your own section of the country, and then farther away places that are a little bit harder to get to. A lot of people put experiences on their bucket list. These don't have to be tied to a destination, but they can be. So, for instance, it's a really common experience. My dad had skydiving on his bucket list, and he checked off that goal. Well, you can go skydiving in a lot of different places, so that's not necessarily tied to a destination. Other experiences, hot air balloon rides, things like that. Now, um, let me think. Where is an experience that is tied to a destination? Maybe you want to experience the tea ceremony in the Japanese tea ceremony. Well, that would be in Japan. So that one's obviously tied to a specific trip. Um, it was on our bucket list from this last summer that I really, really wanted to take my kids to a drive-in movie. We'd never been to one, and it was just something that I wanted them to experience. So that was something that was a close experience that we could have. So national parks and state parks are common bucket list items, and those are really good things to have on there. Um, and I know a lot of people have different world wonders on their bucket lists. So the pyramids, the Great Wall of China, things like that. So one last thing to add, something else that is really important for your bucket list is you want to make sure that you include on there um, things of specific interest to you and your family. So, for instance, We always try to check off, wherever we go, we always try to visit the children's museums. Because these are really great experiences that we've had, and they're all a little bit different. So that's something that's important to us. Um, Animal encounters. I had a friend who had seeing polar bears on her bucket list, and she finally got to check that off. So make sure that you think about the specific needs and interests of your family and include things on your bucket list that accommodate those. So those are some ideas of what to put on your bucket list. And so to recap, you want to curate a list of experiences, of destinations, close, medium, and far away, of foods that you want to eat. And these are all going to go onto your bucket list. And this is going to feed your travel dreams and help you move forward on your travel goals. So, no homework for tonight. Just keep working on the bucket list worksheet that you started yesterday, and I will see you tomorrow for day 5 when we are going to wrap up working on our bucket list. So, take care. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.